Shh, he's dreaming of the north. Wait, isn't he supposed to be collecting berries? Why is he sleeping? Hey guys, welcome back. It's Ben, and this is iBenBrown Plays Pokemon Sleep. Happy Speed of Help Down Day to Vly2DM, Bro Vinny, and Piggy. I'm going to start off today's video talking about my strategy for Suicune Week, number 2. As you may have noticed, I have a pretty stacked water team, a bunch of level 50 plus water Pokemon who provide high strength Oran berries. I've been preparing the Slowking and the Golduck for a while, knowing that the Suicune event would be on its way. I was taking a gamble that this event would be like the previous legendary events, and it paid off. I was excited when they announced that the berries would be randomized on other islands, because I knew that I could count on this Oran berry team to carry me through the event. And that trigger you just saw there with Vaporeon is exactly what this strategy is built around. I was prepared to hit Master 20 on Cyan Beach without needing any dishes this week, at least according to RaenonX team analysis, and the backup Golduck that I didn't need to end up investing in because I got Suicune. So that's why I'm in this somewhat obnoxious situation with my ingredients. I continue to have a full bag, and yes, I know, technically I'm wasting ingredients when I send them to Neroli. How do we get dream shards for this? But so far with good camp ticket, every time I cook a meal, I end up clearing enough space to keep the inventories of my Skillmons empty. And this is why Feraligatr continues to collect ingredients basically every time Suicune triggers. Feraligatr does not get collected from until my ingredient bag is full again. So what you're going to see me do here is continue to check my bag and remove ingredients from my bag in order to make space to collect from Vaporeon. So forgive me if I'm getting rambly and not really explaining the strategy well, but basically the goal is let Feraligatr berry find with a full inventory, let Golduck go ham with a level 7 skill, have Slowking continue to heal my team throughout the day, and just make whatever dish I can from whatever Vaporeon produces, since it's also producing at level 7. I was thinking I would just use the base Suicune, because I figured I would get one in week 1 at least, but I'm pretty pleased with the one that I found. And here's where this starts to get a little silly. I'm looking at my dishes to say, best case scenario right now, I make ninja curry, but I need to get just a couple more soybeans, and I'm gonna need one more bean sausage in order to do this. But I don't want to collect all those bean sausages and oil from Feraligatr. So this is where we start getting a little silly with this, to say, okay, free up my inventory just enough to go get these couple of ingredients that I need. And you're also going to see me take a gamble on Feraligatr. Am I going to get oil or sausage? And I'll let that play out while I talk to you about some other stuff today. Thank you to the many of you who have already subscribed. Welcome to the top 10 subscribers of this channel. And there's still a few more spots for anybody who wants to be top 10. Here's what we're going to do in the rest of this video. We're going to take another look at that Quaxley from yesterday, talk about it for a bit. Then we'll look at the spawns that I got this morning. And then for anyone who's interested in doing a more advanced look at my leek farming situation, we will close out the video with that today. So thanks for coming back. Because the channel is so new, I would say if you've watched this far but haven't watched my first video yet, go ahead and leave. Go watch my first video first and then come back here. And now let us watch as I hope to get a single bean sausage. Am I gonna get it? You know I'm gonna get it, otherwise I wouldn't have showed it here. Thanks Feraligatr. And no, we did not get an extra tasty on this. Sorry guys. Alright, so this Quaxley is gonna need a name. And you're probably thinking, aren't you gonna invest in this? Didn't you say this was the one? And you're right, but here's my tip. Well, maybe a couple tips. Number 1, there's no reason to invest right away. I don't need leeks right now. And yes, he's evolvable, and yes, I have the candy. But we also get those missions every week that require you to use over 200 candies, and so why not wait until I can do things I'm gonna do anyway on those weeks. Also, obviously I don't have the dream shards for this. When you have a lot of candy, here's what you can do. Here I can see that I could have a level 38 Quaxley. Or, if I remove 40 candies, I can see that I could get a level 37 Quaxwell. And if I remove 80 more candies, I can see that I can get a level 34 Quaquaval. So this is a quick and dirty assessment you can do without RaenonX when you have a lot of candies. Now I'll show you how to check this later in the video, but as it turns out for me, even at those levels, this Quaquaval is basically just as good as the Ditto that I showed you yesterday. But I'll also explain later why this is definitely my long-term guy, showing you the RaenonX numbers. Welcome to the team, Bieber. Alright, and now for the real reason you're here, to see what I got and to see if we should be excited or depressed together. This is what your sleep session looks like when you play D&D online with your friends, then move your phone to your end table while you go do the dishes before bed, and then you sleep. Alright, let's talk about snoozing type. Unfortunately, this is probably the worst type for me to get based on what I'm looking for right now. The Pokemon I'm most interested in seeing for snoozing type on Cyan Beach are going to be Mr. Mime, Ditto, Coco, and Crocolore for the candies. And maybe for a new Ditto, if we can find one that's good with tails. Now let's get it on. Raticate, Wooper, I can't do this. Raticate, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Raticate. Rowlet, Ditto, Raticate, Rattata, Raticate. Also a Wooper and a Golduck. Now there's 150 or more to see. Yeah, there's more. Okay, now we did get one new sleep style. Oh my gosh. It's the elusive Slowking. We finally got this 1-star Slowking sleep style. We have been looking for a Slowking just so we can finish him out. Why is the 1-star the last one we're finding? That's ridiculous. Okay, now you'll notice that none of the Pokemon that I mentioned are here, so what are we going to use our biscuits on today? Our options are, let's see, Hungry Slowking, Hungry Raticate, Hungry Growlithe, and I don't want any of these. Okay, if Golduck would have been hungry here, I probably would have dropped it on him. Or if Ditto was hungry, I might have dropped it there. And I was actually thinking about just using it on the Ditto. And sorry to Wooper fans, I just don't care about Wooper right now in my game. But I thought, hey, we're on YouTube, we gotta take something home today. It's either the Rattata or the Raticate, we still need one of these that's good. Decided to go for the Raticate since we could just take it home with one biscuit. And so, welcome to the team Raticate. Bloop, 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 bloop. Some people wave to Snorlax, some people blip, blip, blip. Which kind are you? Let me know in the comments. Now the candy situation here for my friends is probably a wash. Maybe Rattata, Raticate are the low tier here, Growlithe is the another low tier. But I decided that Ditto was probably the best to send out here, as it's probably the one that I would have wanted. And before we check out that Raticate, hey, we got a thing. 300 normal type Pokemon studied. Woohoo, thanks for the handy candy. And in honor of this award, here, look at this. We probably have a poison award in our near future. Okay, Raticate, let's see if you're worthy of a nickname. Looking for berry finding and anything helping related. What we're not looking for is inventory. You're off to a bad start. Let's just transfer it. Just kidding. Okay, don't care about skills, and we don't care about sleep experience, and happy Speed of Help Down Day, everybody. You heard me say it at the beginning. You're not the only YouTuber who got Speed of Help Down Pokemon today. Did you get Speed of Help Down? Maybe there's a conspiracy going on. Now we'll get to know the Wet Legends a little bit more. Today we're going to highlight Slurpee. I got this Eevee back in March, and when I got it I thought this is one to invest in because it had Skill Level Up M and a Skill Trigger S, which I turned into Skill Trigger M. And if you're going to have a Pokemon on your team, might as well have berry finding. So leading up to the event, I dropped a buttload of Eevee candies into this thing, and of course it has the complementary nature, a big old 3.5 out of 4 on my scale. The skill Pokemon rating the 3 of the skill related items and a 0.5 for the berry finding S. And he's so fun right now, triggering at level 7 during the event. Alright, and now for the diehards and the aspiring diehards, let's take a look at my leek situation. Today, these are my leek farmers from my Ditto and from a Doug trio that I looking back, should never have invested in. Now, if we configure RaenonX to look at level 30, we see Diglett number 5 and this new Quaxley number 11 configured in here, and we want to compare the production at level 30. Now, this takes advantage of the duplicate feature on RaenonX to just quickly stack all these together, and then I usually delete the Pokemon after I do this kind of analysis. Now, you'll also see that I set up one Quaxwell with a 2,000 hour ribbon to just see if I wait 7.5 months sleeping with this thing. And as you can see, it basically comes out even to Ditto's current production. So there's no reason to rush anything to level 30 right now. It's not going to help me or hurt me to invest in this Quaxwell right away. Now, when we jump this to level 50, both for Quaxley and Diglett, we get that ingredient finder M at level 50 involved. So getting either of those to level 50, Dugtrio or Quaxwell, is when I'll start actually seeing some gains on those leaks. Then at level 60 is where this really starts to get fun. We'll see that this Quaxley starts going crazy with leaks. And the reason that Quaxley outclasses Dugtrio at this level is simply because it has that extra leak. Nerth probably has a video that explains why that I'll see in 2 days. The other fun thing about RaenonX is now I can see some of my other Pokemon that are going to be giving me leaks if I get them to level 60, like that Meganium, who's probably going to hit level 60 at some point. And for ingredient count is one of the features where you can actually look at level 100 and see what the output is going to be like for your Pokemon as well. Oh shoot, I lied. That's a different Meganium that I'm not currently investing in. My bad. Okay, now here's something I noticed that's interesting. We have a different Quaxley popping up right now, and its total ingredients is more than the one that we just got. So let's investigate that a little bit further. Skip ahead to configuring number 4 to be evolved as well. And look at that, total ingredient output is even higher than this one, less leaks but more soybeans. And so then you gotta wonder, do we want Quaxley to be doing soybeans? Let's look at our soybean options. And we're going to quickly configure our long-term investment Tyranitar, who I'm planning on doing beans, to see if it would make sense to switch to Quaxley. And it turns out that even if we max out that Quaxley's stats, it still pales in comparison to the Tyranitar we're planning to eventually have, or soybeans, and that's without maxing out that Tyranitar stats. And this is exactly why you always have to evaluate what's going on in your game compared to other people's games. Don't take any advice at this game at face value without evaluating your exact situation. Which is why we are about to bin a 99th percentile, could be 100th percentile, 4 ingredient strength with an investment Quaxley in my box. While we're here, shout out to my other Paldean starters and their fully evolved, partially invested counterparts who are awesome and who we'll look at in a future video. Now, we're going to just quickly look at these couple of Quaxley that I have, and we're going to want to save one of them so that we can eventually turn water candy into Quaxley candy when we have our Quaquaval. But this 99th percentile ingredient strength Quaxley is candy. Now I gotta figure out which one of these oily ones to keep and which one to get rid of. Okay, and now if you'd be so kind as to like and subscribe, we'll do this again soon. Happy researching.